Zach Weiss here with Devon Alexander of the Point Park men's basketball team. But we're here today to talk a little bit about the NBA season, which will be starting now in December. So that's good news for everyone that's an NBA fan. And Devon, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
We're doing good, thanks. Zach, why don't you get us started here?
Your initial emotions. Obviously, you're a huge NBA fan. Again, you're rocking Chicago. You got Chicago in your back again, and so of course we contact you late, and it's Chicago. But describe your feelings right away when you find out that this lockout was lifted, and it was kind of Thanksgiving night. I mean, it was like right on like Black Friday. I don't think Black Friday can get much better for you than the NBA coming back.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was a treat. I thought it was coming soon. You know what I mean, but obviously, I didn't know that soon with the week prior to that, like maybe not. So yeah, it was quite a treat, and you know what I mean. I'm glad everyone's ready to get it on now.
We were talking about this a little before we got back on air about how some of the players overseas are going to be able to break their contracts with teams in Europe and try to be able to come back and play in the NBA again. But for the players that aren't going to be able to, it must be a real disappointment knowing that they've only are going to miss 2 months of the season.
Yeah, no, I would pretty much just say it'll be all right. You know what I mean? The one for the players that's still going to be there. You know what I mean? It's well,
okay,
yeah, like the people that's going to be you know what I mean, getting out of their contracts and stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone just stay in the right condition and stuff like that. Everyone's saying like the Lakers and stuff will benefit, you know what I mean, with them being an older team from, you know what I mean, with the shorter season, but you know what I mean, who knows.
How would you discuss the Lakers? Another team that has to be favored just because of the short season and everything has to be the Miami Heat. I mean, you look at the Heat from the top of the roster, they're returning all their players with James, LeBron James, the chosen one, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and they're talking about getting players, you know, role players such as a Shane Battier, for instance. How much of a force do you think Miami's going to be able to live up to the hype this year? Because for a lot, they weren't able to live up to it last year.
Well, you know what I mean, Miami's my favorite team, so you know what I mean. I definitely, you know, hope they will, you know, think they will. I would say someone like Shane Battier would help a lot, but you know what I mean, maybe the presence of a, you know, like a real center or an actual point guard that, you know, can control the game. He doesn't have to, you know, take the most shots or anything, but just manage the game. You know what I mean? But will help him out. Will help him out more. I hope they do it. But there's some teams that's tough. There's some teams that's definitely going to be tough this year, depending on what happens with Dwight Howard.
Well, like we said, you have the Bulls shirt on, Derrick Rose shirt. So, I mean, yeah,
you did it, John Madden. Good job.
Thank you very much. But the Bulls, you know, were playing really well. Derrick Rose was, you know, considered for he was the MVP last year. Yeah, he was the MVP.
Yep.
You know, with LeBron James and Kevin Durant and you know Kobe always playing how he can play. Who do you see, you know, of the star players from last year, really continuing to, you know, go on the upswing here and continue to make a name for themselves?
Yeah, I definitely believe all those players will do their thing this year. But MVP wise, I'm guessing, you know what I mean, it'll probably be either Durant or LeBron, depending on, you know, how hungry LeBron decides to play. You know what I mean. But yeah, Derrick Rose, he was playing out of his mind last year. Like, you know what I mean. I'm glad the Heat was, you know, in a position to cool him down when they did. You know, they threw a lot of looks at him, as far as throwing LeBron on him, throwing Wade on him, you know, double teaming him, just, you know, trying to get the ball out of his hands. You know what I mean. So I'm guessing probably Durant or LeBron. And honestly, I'm hoping them two meet up in the finals, the Thunder versus Heat finals. So we'll see.
You mentioned speculation on Dwight Howard. Personally, I've said it on the show many times. Dwight Howard is my favorite basketball player. I really think that he brings a lot to the offensive and the defensive side of the floor. He needs to lower those technicals, but how important is he towards this offseason, towards this team? Because you hear Los Angeles Lakers being a destination. You hear the New Jersey Nets being a possible destination. Could they keep, or will the Magic keep them? Do you think one of those three options happened, or is there another possible option that we have not quite heard yet?
Yeah, everything you just said is what I'm hearing. As far as the Nets said, I heard they're willing to give Brook Lopez and 2 first-rounders up for him. So, you know, I mean, that's a ton. They'll have to do a lot of rebuilding, but, you know, that's a ton for them. And so that might be it. But and for the Lakers, I heard they'll have to be Bynum and Lamar Odom, who they give up. So, you know what I mean? Which won't be a bad idea. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If the Lakers get them, then man, it should be trouble again. And well, who knows? Like they said, he may stay with the Magic. You know, just get maximum money, and just be a really big fish. You know what I mean? In a mediocre or small pond. So.
Well, another trade rumor is I heard reports this morning that the Celtics were possibly, you know, considering a trade of Rajon Rondo for Chris Paul. How do you think, you know, a trade with 2, you know, high-caliber players like that would affect, you know, both of their teams?
They both bring so much to the table, I believe. You know what I mean? Age-wise, isn't too much of a difference, you know. But Rajon Rondo's a lot faster. You know what I mean? And can hurt you in so many ways as far as Chris Paul. You know what I mean? I think Chris Paul said I think he said he wouldn't sign his contract extension though if he was to go to the Celtics. So you know what I mean, I'm not sure, you know, how realistic it is of happening now. But yeah, they're, you know, other than Darren Williams, you know what I mean, they're pretty much the top 1, 2, and 3, you know, point guards in the NBA. So I don't think either team will be mad with either player. So.
Do you think the Knicks then for Chris Paul? Because Chris Paul has been linked to the Knicks for the longest time, and I'm sure he's, while the big, you know, Boston 3 party is definitely attractive to him, I think also, you know, Carmelo Anthony, Murray Stoudemire, you know, beasts like that can take it from the inside and outside of the court have to be attractive to him as well. Yeah,
definitely. That's where I thought that was going to happen. It would have been similar to the Heat situation. You know what I mean? And they'll be with, and I can see them, you know, all 3 being together. You know, if Carmelo, Amari, and him to get together for years. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're looking at maybe the next 10 years of, you know, maybe Nick and Heat basketball for the Eastern Conference is battling out, which would be nice. You know what I mean? Could create a lot of history.
Well, the NBA season now, if it goes as planned, is scheduled to begin on Christmas with 9 games scheduled. So, you know, how special do you think, even though it's a shortened season, would you know, starting the NBA schedule be on Christmas for a lot of players? And that's a really traditional day for the NBA. They usually have a lot of, you know, the best matchups, you know, in a conference and so forth on that day usually.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, you know, a real nice way to start the season off. You know what I mean? I'm not exactly sure who's all playing, which specific teams are playing each other, but you know what I mean. I know there's some really good games, and you know it's Christmas. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will be in their house. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay warm and stuff. And you definitely want to watch some basketball, especially the first games. You know what I mean? The first games to kick the season off. So you know what I mean. I think it'll be a good day. You know, a great day to start the season, and you know whatever else happens.
All right, there's been much debate in the NBA as to who's the better player between Kobe and LeBron. Your take?
Well, like I said, I'm the ultimate LeBron fan. I get picked on by my team all the time, all the time. Like no rings, no heart, and no fourth quarter, and I done heard everything. You know what I mean? Since I've been in middle school, pretty much. Like you know, you got to find someone else, find a different player, So, you know, Kobe's proven, you know what I mean? So that's one thing, like, you know, I can't say anything about. Kobe, he just has a killer's mentality when it comes to the basketball court that, you know, LeBron, you know, you only see it sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just like a light switch, you know what I mean? And and as we see in the championship and all the fourth quarter games, you can't just keep turning it on and off. It just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Instead of Kobe just flat out having it just like every quarter, whether he's doing bad or good, like you still see that same look in his eyes and that demeanor. Just, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to beat Kobe. You know what I mean? As far as LeBron at times, like, you know what I mean, he'll just sit back and just, you know what I mean, and just get complacent and just relax.
LeBron to me is the kind of guy that looks like, you know, once he wins, he's going to do it a lot. He just has to break through, and once he does it, I think he'll be on the right track. But this was supposed to be a Point Park segment of the show, so if we could move on to the basketball team for just a second here.
Just a sec. No, I'm just kidding.
You have this one question I'm really kind of interested in. You have this long break coming up from December 4th to January 3rd here. We're not going to have any games over the winter break. How do you think that's going to affect the team? And, you know, are you looking forward to it, or what are your feelings on that?
We're all definitely looking forward to it. We just finally got the taste of a little break. You know what I mean? Just last week, having my 5 days off or so. You know what I mean? Just to rest our legs and, you know, our bodies, and just get everything, like, you know what I mean, get everything situated with other things. And with so many injuries and people not coming to the second semester to play, it's just, you know what I mean, it's going to be good having that nice long break. And it's like, it's not like we're going to be just like sitting around just eating, you know what I mean, like that. We're actually going to be, you know what I mean, working and running, you know what I mean, getting some lifting and some stuff that's going to help us, you know what I mean, for the second semester. So, like, I think it's going to help us a lot, you know what I mean. It is kind of long be away from the team, like, as a whole, but, like, if everyone does what they need to do while they're away individually, you know what I mean, it'll help us out collectively.
All right, last question. This is combining best of both worlds. I actually asked Jimmy Sherwood this question last year. I wouldn't even ask which NBA player do you look up to the most, but which NBA player do you feel that your game kind of, you know, resembles in some aspects, whether you take it from an offensive, a defensive, a heart, just intangibles kind of a perspective. What, at the current state of your game, whose game do you feel that, not, you know, that you mesh up with, that meshes yours?
Well, from you know, like 90s wise, I like growing up as a kid. I watched. Everyone loved Jordan, obviously, but I watched a lot of Charles Barkley. You know, the way his body is, and you know what I mean, and the way the way his body is, and the way he moves, and he uses, you know, he had like a wider body. That he was a lot stronger than the people. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of trying to mirror my game. So the people that was like a little taller than him, you know what I mean, he had the quickness to get by him, and the people who was his size, he was just so much stronger than them. So I liked him. And currently, from watching the last 2 years of Zach Randolph, man, he's been exploding, and he can step out and hit the 15-footer, hit the mid range, and you know what I mean. He's always undersized, you know what I mean, with 6'10", 6'11", 7-footers, you know what I mean, on him, but. He uses his body, you know what I mean, more than the height that he doesn't have. And I think DeJuan Blair's even starting to get there from Pittsburgh. I played against him a lot growing up, you know what I mean, and we had a lot of battles. And like now he's just, you know what I mean, I played against him this summer. He's just so much stronger. He jumps so much higher, and it's just, you know, it was good to just see like how far he took his game. You know what I mean. I respect it a lot.
All right, did you bring a rap?
Nah, man, I'm all wrapped up.
We had to ask. All right, still, thank you for coming on such